welcome back. This is Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today we are going to work in my October Daily 2021 album again. We will be doing stories or prompts 15 and 16, so we'll be getting to that halfway point today. And my Heidi Swap Storyline Chapters album is getting pretty chunky, but I love chunky albums. I like to use a lot of texture and dimension, so I'm perfectly okay with that. And I haven't had any trouble with these albums when they get bulky yet, and hopefully I won't, but because they're stitched so well and not just a stapled album where, you know, there's just 2 or 3 staples, and it's got good sturdy thread in there, it can stand up to, you know, quite a bit of chunk. So today we're going to talk about, do you like carving pumpkins? And that prompt was from Crystal Idunyate's Halloween prompt list. And then favorite fall soups, and I didn't write down who that was. Let me see if I have it on my little list over here. Yes, I think that was Syncopation Designs from her prompt list. So those are the 2 that I will be doing today. And as a reminder, all of the list that I pulled from, there were 4 lists by 3 people. They are linked down below. So you can check those out if you're still looking for ideas for an October daily or just a fall album in general. There's also all of the digital products. There's maybe 6 or 7 different digital kits that I've been pulling from, mostly from the same 2 or 3. And the top one definitely being October Mood from Tracy Reed. I love that one. But all of that is listed below, as well as products that I use regularly or something that is specific to a certain video. You'll find links to all of that below. Papers, different kinds of papers, printer, you know, just all the standard products that I use. So if you ever have a question about any of that, you can find it down below. If I ever reference someone's channel or a design that I was inspired by, that will be linked down below as well, because I definitely believe in giving credit where it is due. So we are going to go ahead and get started today. I will get you put on fast forward and get these 2 done. So let's do it. Okay, as always, I'm going to go ahead and get everything out of my envelope that I have prepped ahead of time, including that planning sheet. I always link Crystal Idunyate's channel in my description box, and in her description box of every video, she has a link to those free planning sheets with all the different sizes. So those come in handy. I enjoy being able to plan my pages out and sketch them and make sure I know what I need to have on hand. So I have this pumpkin that I increased the size of quite a bit. It was just supposed to be a little small embellishment, maybe even a sticker, I'm not sure, from the Tracy Reed October Mood collection. That's also where that stripe, kind of the rainbow stripe paper came from. I decided to print 2 of them and adhere them back to back, just to make this part that's going to swivel a little bit more substantial, a little thicker, because these are printed on matte photo paper, as I always do with all of my printables, because you get a much crisper, richer, more vibrant color. So it wasn't printed on like a thick cardstock. The matte photo paper is not super thick. So in Photoshop, I made that oval with the pumpkin in place on this page in Photoshop, so that I could make the oval the correct size, and then I deleted the pumpkin off, put it onto another page to print it out separately. So I knew the oval would be hidden. And I got out some brads, and you saw me bring over my little Sizzix. It's the Stamper's pad, Stamper's secret weapon. I think that they don't sell anymore, but I used it and an awl to poke a hole through all three layers, the two pumpkins and the stripe paper. And then I just put the brad through, and then I could put my score tape on and get the pumpkin put in place. I'm still using that same font, the Always in My Heart, for all of my titles, and then switching to the American Typewriter for any journaling that I do. And so I've done the same thing here. And again, I've mentioned before, by doing it, doing my titles on the actual printables from Photoshop, it's saving a lot of bulk from not having to use stickers or thickers, and it also saves a lot of time not having to stamp out all my titles, and I can, color pick and make everything match really well with the little rectangles that I create. All right, so I've got that on there, and I rounded the corners with my corner tromper. For this book, I always use the 1/2 inch side of that. And then I'm going to move on to my favorite fall soups, and this one I'm using Rachel Designs Cute But Creepy. That's what this gold paper is. And I don't know if when I hold it up here in a minute to show you that I'm going to where I've stitched, I don't know if you can see, but maybe you can see it in the close-ups. In the middle of those little medallions is actually like a little skeleton looking head. So it's kind of neat. And then there's little skeleton heads, those little small, what looks like dots. They're actually little small tiny skeleton heads. So this black wood grain was back from the Tracy Reed October Mood collection, and I wanted to use it to back my photos onto. And then I'm going to take these, I don't think I actually show, but I just put a little tape down my Kokuyo roller adhesive to hold the photos in place, and then I take them over to my sewing machine, use a gold metallic thread, and stitch around those in my messy stitching that I always do. I don't try to be straight or neat, I just like it messy. And then on this piece of vellum, I have scored it at 1/2 inch, and then I went and sewed that, and now I'm going to use my Teflon bone folder to make sure I get a really good crease to help this open. It ends up not being quite as smooth as I wanted at the end, but I may be able to kind of go back and work with it just a bit. So you see all the stitching there on the back. I'm just going to get some tape put on there, the score tape from scrapbook.com. And when I get this on, it's a little bit low. I'm going to have to cut some off the top, and it didn't get quite straight, so it's not folding as perfectly as I wanted to. I think I can probably still go back in with an X-Acto knife and cut just a little bit of that vellum and make it work a little better. So I had to do a little trimming. Then I'm going to come in with my corner rounder, get all that stuff taken care of. And I did this, the vellum is it's kind of a golden yellow color, and it has a little shimmery shine to it. And I found this just a free transparent PNG of the little decorative frame, because I thought it kind of mimicked the little medallions on the gold pattern paper. So that's why I chose it. And I kind of wanted to make it be like menu like. So to me, it kind of resembles maybe like a menu from a fancy restaurant might look, or something on the cover. And then I just picked those two soups, chili and potato soup, and got all that in place. Now I'm going to put my numbers, which I will put through the Xyron. That's what I just did, so that I can stick them down to these Reset Girl stickers. I'm going to do this pink one with a little pattern on the top for number 15, and then I'm going to do the little spotty dot black and white one that I've used several times before, and actually finish off one sheet of those from this ring of circled labels that I pulled out to work on with this project. So that made me very happy. I'm going to give a thumbs up here in a minute once I get the sheet out. So that finishes me up. I'll be back here to talk to you in just a second. Okay, I'm going to call these 2 prompts done right here. So for the first one, do I like carving pumpkins? I thought I'd read you my journaling real quickly. It's fairly short, and I have a short answer and a long answer. So the short answer is no, no. The longer answer is no, I do not like carving pumpkins. It's yucky and messy and makes me gag. I don't like the feel. I don't like the smell. In fact, I don't like any part of the actual carving process. However, I do love to see the finished products of people who are extremely talented and can create amazing scenes on their jack-o'-lanterns. I am perfectly fine with that not being a skill I try to perfect. And here's a little known secret. I rarely ever let our boys carve pumpkins for all of the above reasons. There, I said it. So my children, bless their hearts, they didn't get to carve many pumpkins when they were growing up just because I can't deal with the mess and the yuck and the cleanup afterwards. So that part of their childhood may have stunted their growth, but that's just how it is. And then for number 16, my favorite fall soups, there is no journaling. I had intent, and I got my paper a little crooked, so it's struggling. I may have to try to go back with my X-Acto knife and trim a little bit of this off. I had intended to go right in here and with my Dymo label maker, just put chili and potato soup. I forgot to do that when I was working on it. I may go back and do that off camera at the end. And I did do the Velcro dots on both of these just because they were a little slippery and it was making them harder to turn. So that's where we'll stop for today, and I certainly appreciate you stopping by. It means more to me than you will ever know. If you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and if you have not already subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do that and become a part of my little YouTube family. There will be close-ups at the end and over on Instagram as well, as always, and I'd love for you to follow me there. I share a lot of things over on Instagram. I post fairly regularly, and until I see you in the next video, take care of yourself and do something good for yourself. Bye-bye.